Your Royal Highness, good day, sir.
How are you?
Thank you very much. Sir, let me first felicitate with you over your recent 40th anniversary on the throne. Happy anniversary in arrears, sir. How has it been so far, Your Royal Highness?
Well, I have very cause to thank God, to thank my good people of Lafiagi. It is not my making, but God's making, and they are making. I was sitting, they told me I'm 40. I was even 9. They say I'm 40. And then they will celebrate that 40th anniversary. I looked at it as a dream. And you know, sometimes when one dreams, sometimes dream materializes. I told them we had not enough resources. They told me forget about resources. Even if it is thousands of millions, they will make it. And they make it. I'm happy about that. I thank God. Happy. And then, indeed, the celebration was well done. A lot of people trooped to Lafiagi. And all that came, thank God. They came happily. We interacted to it happily. The occasion would not to go happily. Everybody returned home safely. Thank you.
Can you please give us a brief into your background?
My background? Well, I came from Royal House. And that's why they looked at me when chance came that, you know, they make me, or they made what I am today, because I am from the royal family. In Lafiagi here, the royal families, most of the houses we had were born by the same father. So to tell you that I grew up as a young chap, living with my grandfather, Muhammad Bele. In those days, you know, they collect school children like when they collect taxes. When they go to every house, they say, at this house, we share about 3 people for you, 4 for you, 4 for you. So they share maybe to my grandfather. We were just sleeping. Now he said, wake me. Where is Kawu? I rose up said, come I join them to school. I ran inside, you know, to avoid, you know, to evade going to school. But I was made to go to school. That was the Lafiagi Elementary School, which is now the Central School. From there, I finished the school. Let me tell you, my school age, people are saying, I don't know, because there were no records during that time. But my school record, my birth certificate, the one they said that I was born in April 1935. So I went to that school at the age of maybe 7 or so years. And I spent 4 years in Lafiagi Elementary School. And by then, we took examination to the Ilorin Middle School, which is now Provincial Secondary School. I happened to be the first. So that took me to Ilorin Middle School, where I spent 5 years. You know, by then, in Nigeria, there were no common grid or authority that marks the paper like what they are doing now, WAEC or NECO. What we had by then was because we had 12 provinces. So the final examination would be Northern Provinces Final Middle Four Examination, which we took. And as luck was with me, I was one of the people who passed those examinations. So that, and then from there, well, I decided to choose my career to be a teacher, because I was hearing that if I work close near money will tempt me to something else. So I went to Chatterton College, where I finished. That was Kachina Higher in 1952. Yes, 2 years. From there we finished and came home. The bitter experience I would see, they posted to one village called Rogu, where I never know, I was thinking, and by then Lafiagi Party division, I was thinking party was the end of Lafiagi. Because when if you go to Patigi, you see, by then you see a road with a reddish, you know. So when they sent me to Rogu, and that's why when a friend died there, I said, I give money to pray for him and to bless Rogu, because that was the first time I received the salary. So I remembered. But my experience was so bitter that I left Katsina. But then there were even plants, generator, where we enjoying light up to 12 night. We had the box radios. But going to Rogu, what I would hear in the night is, hey, what is this? There was a juju in the night, nobody should come out. I never experienced it. So when the day woke, I ran to my friend, who of late memory, Nine Shabaji Madapati. Shaba, what do I do? This is my experience. So we bought calico from Ogumosha people, made net for mosquito and everything. I returned to Rogu. That was why I taught. But when there were not enough teachers in Patigi, senior primary school, so my certificate by then qualified me to teach up to class 6 of senior primary school. So they called me back to Patigi. I taught from there for 1 year. Later, I was taken to Sharagi. They had only one school by then. And there were no crisis, no conflict. You see, the people selling eating food for us is a nyabochi nani, inya yale ajiga, inya ba yale ajiga. So interacted. So today, I don't know the cause of their conflict, but only God knows. But we wish them peaceful settlement. After the following year again, I wanted to advance my education, so I applied. Then they took me to Royal Education College, Bauchi, where I studied crop and animal husbandry, biology, agriculture, and human anatomy. I did that for 1.5 years. I will not remember those years because my wife had no child for 3 years. From there, you see, one day, I'll give you experience. With the the biology master was teaching us, biology. And we come to reproductive system. And he told us, yeah, if your wife knows this. And we had young wives. Myself and Agba now of Isalu, he told me, but I don't know, the following day, we went to doctor and we made everything. And with God's help, my wife put in, we came home there. So, and here brought me a baby boy. So that's the experience that we knew. Now going to that, I know I wanted to go in further, but there was a change in the educational program. By then, the advanced rural education college, but they added chemistry. When I read I didn't read chemistry. So they were saying, we can't do it, we can't do everything. My predecessor here, late Emir of late memory, may his soul rest in peace. He told me, Baba did the situation. He said, can you do it? I said, I can. I said, I can. And I went to Advanced Teacher College in Zaria, where I read chemistry and biology. But one thing I used to tell my people, be very careful in marrying many wives. The more you produce many children and you take care of them, if you can't take care of them, God will ask you. So by then I had already got 2 wives, 2 children. And they were giving us a allowance only. So there was emotional disturbance. Emotional, you know. So I crossed over. It took me only 6 months for me to finish. But that was how God made it. Then I crossed over to, they said they were looking for us. I don't know who gave us our names. Then I came to Kaduna. And then they saw my name in Lugard Hall. That's a civil service commission. So from there, they said this is the man who wanted. They picked me. I agreed. So when my mates come to meet him, I said I had a vacation job here. I had a vacation until, I must confess, I didn't take that final examination. Until it took me. Ahmadu Bello had already planned, because he was able to understand the comparison between, educational comparison between North and South. So he planned already for self-reliance, so that we should not all wait for government, whatever we need, and the white man will do it. He'll give us school, he'll give us hospital. Say, go and study by yourself. That's what the Southern were doing. They were doing it either through their missionary or through themselves. So Ahmadu planned it. So they said, I don't know who gave them. I was one of the people they were looking for. So I started community development. And they sent me to staff development center. And as you see me now, I must tell you, I know how to build. I know how to do carpentry. I know how to do even blacksmith. I know how to do joinery. Because in the course, after the course, 7 months, they sent me to Shoba Technical School to learn this in Zaria. So, God willing, I came. I asked them to give me even grade 1. They said, unless I go back to education again. I went back to learning ITC. From there, I spent another 3 years. Finished, but with all this dexterity, you know, handwork and everything. So the past, I came home. I joined community development. No, I wanted to go to University of Ibadan. I took concessional examination. There, they didn't take me. Because of my aspirations to learn, I went to Ibadan myself to find out what, even to see my marks. From there, I know Professor, is it Olu Lawyer? He said, okay, next year, read this paper, we shall pick you. I came back to Ilorin the following day. There I saw the government also sent my name to Cameroon to study rural and community development in Pan-African Institute for Development, Buea. I was taken there, and we read, is an integrated study to development. We read everything, we studied everything, communication, cooperatives, technology, and everything. There, thank God, I finished with the international certificate in rural development, class 2. And I came in when I worked for community development. I found it very interesting. Very interesting. They first hold me in Kaduna in interim common service agency, Lugard. I stayed there for 2-3 years. But so there was the eager for me. Because when things were trying to change, I said I wanted to go back to my state of origin. Next, and they pushed me back to Kwara State, where I was supposed to take care of community development in Omar Ifelodun, Ibomina Ekiti. I was the first officer there. No officer, nothing. We were using one building belonging to a member, Oladewaju. So, but I was keen to work there because already I made them to be responsive, not to respond, for they respond to my request. Any community you go, grammar school, on their own. And even health and technology. But if I ask, who are the project initiators? They say in Lagos. Everything, Lagos. But I'm happy if they find the people who help themselves I helped them to make some roads. There was anywhere I never go in those areas. I took a cane to do it. So that's what I always say, there is no more service. Somebody will be a community development officer, he will at home. He doesn't know even a village where he's referred to. And the community development is a total development of human life. One deal was here, he said, what are you developing? When I say, you said, we're all developing together. Because where you find what your community wanted is what you go with them. Don't you go and impose project on them. Once you impose project and they find hardness, they curse you. But if they select, this is what we want today, we want a road, go with them. We want hospital, go with them. We want a school, go with them. And work with them, not for them. Eat what they eat, sleep while they sleep, do whatever, that you become a member of that community. But if you go and tell them, we come to work for you, they regard you as a stranger. And you come to one day, you go, but I'm with you. So from there, I thank God, very appreciative response and the support I got from the people. Later they posted me back to Lafiagi here. And with the support of my predecessor, I know the government was looking for a commissionership. So he gave my name. With that, we made that. So commission to, then they said, okay, commissioner for local government service commission. So later they give me that commissioner for commissioner number 2 in the local government service commission. That was where I was, and God, when God will make it. So later, if I was there, when I heard that my predecessor, my dad, who went for assignment in Lokoja, died. So we all came and buried him. So a situation now came where they were looking for another leadership. We help some people. I didn't initially want it. I was afraid. And because I prefer people to want me than me want look. Because where they want you, you are part of them. But why you use your force to get it, what? There must be some element of a grudge. So some people call you, Your Highness. I applied. And as God would make it out of all that applies, they took me as Emir of Lafiagi. In the year October, 20th of October 1975, exactly. So,
as the name implies, Lafiagi, when you hear Lafiagi, the name rings bells. What's the real meaning of Lafiagi?
Yes, the Fulani we settled here around 17th century. They are only a group, little NUPEs, so we settled in Lafiagi. So when we came, they were idol worshippers, nothing. So we came, and when we came across the river, the Niger here, Dekpata. Now, when we crossed the river Niger, there's a community. It's no more there. They call it Bijangi. We settled there. No, we didn't see, the kind of normalcy and happiness. We move across from there to a little hill here called in Hausa, it's called Uruganage, but they call it Uruganagi. Then we crossed that down. We came to Lafiagi here. Our forefathers said around that, that's upstairs you are seeing. They sit there. They put milk on a bowl, and they were reading Quran. The milk was turning around like brook turning around. But they found that, despite the fact it didn't go out, they says this is a place of Alafia, so this is our settle. Though there's foresee some crisis, but whatever be the crash, our living will be over them. So since this is why we came to get normalcy and happiness, the town is named Lafiagi, or Hafwa. So that G they put is a common, to no face. There's no amount of Lafia that is little. But that this is you way we can't just live Lafiagi, Patigi, Saragi, so that GI, you see, they're saying little, but no amount of health is little, and that's why we name Lafiagi.